apparently. Hey, there we go. Hang on. Alright, what does that look like? Looks like I got a sun in the background. What do we think? It's not bad. We're getting there. We're getting there, okay? Just hold on. So, it's in the frame though. You guys mind if I have this big furry cape thing right here? Like, I'm learning, okay? Where's this light going? Seriously. Yeah, try and make these my signature trademark. Fingerless gloves. I've always loved fingerless gloves. Like, ever since college. When I was in college, I used to wear the stupidest shit. Well, I say stupid, like, I love the stuff I used to wear. Like, I used to wear, like, big, long, black trench coats, fingerless gloves, and, like, a trilby hat with, like, a skull sewn onto it with a few buttons on it as well. Used to love it. It was great. Guess I need an intro. Hello? Something I've not really thought about before, about having an intro. You good? I'm good. Here to talk to you today, to a camera and a microphone. Hello everybody, it's me, Dean Hassel, and I'm here to talk to you today about my TikTok story and how I became TikTok famous. So before we actually start, I just need to tell you that my chair is terribly squeaky, so I do apologise. It really does need an upgrade. So go grab yourselves a cup of tea. We're going to be talking about TikTok. So some of you might not know what TikTok is on here. I mean, the majority of you probably will know because that's probably where you found me. However, if you don't know what TikTok is, it is a new social media platform that is skyrocketing. Like, it is the new thing. Like, 2019, like, was huge for TikTok. Like, that's where it just went. So what is TikTok exactly? So TikTok is a social media platform where you can record 15-second videos. You can go up to a minute, but it depends on sort of the content that you're making. And basically there's 15-second sounds taken from movies, songs, anything, other creators, and you're using that sound to portray your own video to that. It's actually kind of hilarious. It's like so dead, it is so dead. Put it on the list, I need a new chair. Please. So how did I get TikTok famous, you may be wondering? Well, it all starts back in 2018. It was summer, I was in Canada for a holiday to meet my friend. So for those of you who don't know, I used to live in Canada a while back. At this point I'd come back, but I was just visiting to grab the rest of my stuff to come back to England. However, I was there initially to attend a LARP event with my friend. So it was like a couple of days before the LARP event, and everything had been packed, like all my stuff had been packed. Like, I didn't really have anything else to do. I didn't bring my laptop or anything, so I was kind of bored. And before TikTok, the app was actually called Musical.ly. Now, Musical.ly had been around for quite a while. I'd had the app on my phone for what seemed like, I think it was about a year, and I never used it. I never used it, not once. I had it downloaded on my phone, and I never used it. Didn't even click open. Actually, I think when I downloaded it, I clicked it open once, and it started screaming at me, like, with, like, some sounds and stuff, so I got kind of freaked out. I was like, nope! And then that was it for, like, a year. So there I was in Canada with my mate. I was in bed, I couldn't sleep, so I thought, you know what, let's go through my phone. Let's have a look through my phone and let's see what apps I can use. And then, boom! Musical.ly was right there. Musical.ly? What is this? So hence I clicked on it. As I clicked on it, I sort of remembered the terror that went through me last time of, you know, these loud noises coming out of my phone without even, you know, without my permission. Didn't know what the hell it was touching the screen, didn't know what to do. I learned how to scroll. So I was scrolling through videos and I thought, wow, you know what, this is actually kind of cool. Me being an aspiring actor, I sort of thought to myself, wow, do you know, this is something I could get on. So there I was, scrolling away, you know, having loads of fun, like thinking, oh, that's a good video. That's a good video. That's a good video. Turns out I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it to the point where I started making videos of my own. Gives it a little bit more light, I guess. Don't forget your tea. Are you still drinking it? Let me know if you're a tea or a coffee person in the comments. Definitely tea. Now, my first video wasn't exactly something to look at. I came across a song that I really liked. I think it was one of the Bendy and the Ink Machines by Da Games. Don't know if you know that song. If I find it, I'll put it here for you so you can check it out.
faith, this isn't your day, for the happy fun time has begun to fade. Watch as we reanimate our corpses you abandoned, or dismantled, or mishandled, but we won't be skipped and swayed. Travel.
It's totally cringe, I know, but so is everybody when you first start out. So there I was, in Canada, and I thought to myself, okay, let's do some videos. So then I made another one, and then I got my first like, and I was like, ooh, somebody liked it, yay! Then I started to find more sounds that I thought were really funny. More comical ones, that's sort of what I tend to go towards. I was actually rummaging back through my bag that I'd already packed to find out costume pieces that could be used for a certain video. I think I found a top hat and a tuxedo and I used that for a couple of videos. Started off with sounds from Jim Carrey, Liar Liar. So starting off, I was just using handheld. Obviously I didn't have any equipment with me back then, it was just handheld on an iPhone 7? I think it was an iPhone 7. I can't remember. Then all of a sudden I had my first follower. Oh my god, my world changed. I couldn't believe it. Like I thought to myself, wow, okay, somebody has liked my content so much that they decided to follow me. Like I didn't ever think to myself that, you know, someone would actually enjoy watching me act like a dick. And that feeling was just such like it was like such a, like an uplifting feeling, even though it was just one follower, and that made me so happy. Like I couldn't believe that. So I started making more.
Yes.
And more.
Red.
And more.
Now, the rest of the plan is simple.
And then all of a sudden I had 5 followers. 100 likes on a video. So like the week that I was in Canada, I think I spent about 3 days just scrolling through Musical.ly and finding sounds that I wanted to do, which to this day I still have a huge list of sounds that I haven't done. And I even go back to them and I think to myself, why did I even save that sound? Like it doesn't like, I can't use that. What is that? So then came the time for me to leave Canada, and I thought to myself, okay, this is it. Musical.ly's gonna, like, I'm gonna forget about it and it's just not gonna be, that's it, done. But no, I carried on. I was at the airport. I found a sound that was quite emotional at this point. So I thought to myself, okay, let's try and put my non-existent acting skills to use. So there I was in the airport on my own with my backpack, and I was just waiting for the plane. And there I was sitting on the floor making a TikTok. Not just a TikTok, a really emotional TikTok. Oh, the cringe is just, oh. I was hesitant to do it anyway because it was in public and in the middle of an airport. However, I pushed through and I did it. And that's where I sort of changed my style from comedy to a little bit more serious things as well. Obviously, comedy is still sort of my main aspect of things that I do. There's just so much variety of things that you can do, and there's just so many ways that you can go about it as well. So I started exploring. I got back from Canada, I dug out my tripod, I dug out something similar to this, like, which is a phone clip which is attaches to your tripod. I think it was like pretty much broken at that point. However, I made it work. So I got back to my bedroom and I was super stoked to try some more videos out. So I put my setup in one half of the room, facing the door, and then that was it. That was my setup. I was happy with that. There I was with a tripod, like I am now, but with obviously an upgrading gear. A £15 tripod off Amazon, and a phone clip which cost I think like less than a £5. There I was with this setup, and I was super happy, and it was great. I loved it. I had the door in the background. That was a defining feature, like early days of TikTok for me. It was a door that had like a little cut at the top of it, which was kind of funny. I was using skylights. The skylights were in the roof there. I'm not gonna lie, knowing what I know now, it was terrible lighting. It really was. Again, this is early days. I didn't know anything about lighting or anything, and we'll get onto that later. But for now, I'm here in my room with skylights, orange, yellow skylights, and I'm there, like, loving life with my £15 tripod and my less than £5 phone clip attached to it. It was great. And there I was making videos. I started to get a little bit bigger and bigger. Before you knew it, I had 1,000 followers. And I was so incredibly happy that people wanted to follow my content and watch what I do. So much so that I gained 1,000 people. Like 1,000 of an army, a Dean army. Coming from a place where you have no social status, it was kind of crazy at the time. Every day I'd be banging out loads of videos, about 4 or 5 videos a night, and then I'd film more for the next day. I was consumed at this point. Something I also forgot to mention is that back when I was in Canada, one of the days that it was Musical.ly, it actually changed hands to TikTok. So at this point, it was TikTok. And I kept thinking to myself, I could be doing more here. Like, I feel like I've got so much energy to put into this that I could be doing more. So I have a massive passion for acting acting and filmmaking and videography, cinematography and everything like that anyway. So I thought to myself, okay, let's put that passion to use. I actually can't drink tea unless it's gluggable. So, cheers. So anybody that knew me before TikTok and Musical.ly, I was an avid cosplayer. Cosplay is a hobby where you dress up as your favourite characters or your own characters, or any form of thing that you want. I shit you not, I've seen someone as a Tesco's Finest cosplay, and it was literally just a box saying Tesco's Finest cosplay on it. Obviously, I've been LARPing for a while at this point, and I had my character Lark Willowstone, and I thought to myself, okay, let's see if we can implement him into some of my videos. I did. I put the costume on, video after video after video. I'd do like 10 videos as my character. I'd find so many sounds, all this passion that I had, just put it into TikTok and into cosplay, into everything that I had. And then I got my first big video, Dwayne The Rock Johnson from Moana. And it was... I know it's a lot, the hair, the bod, that one, you know? So I did that sound in my armor, and that one kind of seemed to pop off a bit. So I got up to 12.8k likes. I mean, that's now. Obviously, back then, I got up to 5,000 likes on a video, and I was like super stoked. I was telling my parents and my siblings, and you know, and I was super proud of it, and they were watching it. They watched this video back, and they loved it, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that I was showing my parents what I'd done. Unfortunately, the sound's gone, so I can't really show you. There I am in my armor, just chilling as Maui. So that was the one that that kind of popped off for me, and that's what kind of drove me to go even further. It drove me to create more characters. It drove me to do different cosplays. It drove me to do so much more, which opened up a whole new side of TikTok that I'd not seen before. All of a sudden, I was seeing cosplayers on my feed all the time. I was seeing the content that I wanted to see. So I started making friends. It was so much fun, like having people with the same style of video content as me. We were doing like different duets. It was getting so creative so quickly. Like the creativity was just insane, and that's why I love TikTok so much. Is like the amount of creativity that you can have with these videos is endless. I was commenting on bigger accounts, and sometimes they'd notice me and I'd get super happy, and that just drove me to go further. I wanted to be like that person. I was just putting everything that I had into TikTok. My setup was still the same as well. I still had this 15-pound tripod. I still had this 3-pound phone clip as well. So as I started to get bigger, I started to do videos on every 1,000. So every 1,000 followers that I got saying, "Hello, my fans." It's for the OGs over there, you guys know what I'm on about. Thank everybody for following me and subscribing to me. I'm glad that you enjoy the content that I produce. As long as you're enjoying it, I'm gonna carry on. People started to recognize me. 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. It just kept getting higher and higher. I couldn't keep up. I was so overwhelmed with all these people following me. Bearing in mind I had a full-time job as well throughout all of this. I was working from 9:30 in the morning till like 7:30 at night, and then I'd get home, have my dinner, straight up to my bedroom, bang, smash out a bunch more videos, all the way up until I needed to go to bed, and then I'd do it all again. So when I got to around about 50,000 fans, I can't remember how it got out. It had to have been me that told them, because I don't think that anybody knew about TikTok at this point. So they must have ripped it out of me somehow. So I was like, yeah, I do go home, and I do 5 to 6 videos a night. And you know what? 50,000 people like what I do. And of course, colleagues being mates as well, they took the piss out of me for a while, but that's just what mates do. And it wasn't long until those guys are on TikTok as well. So it was around about this point where I got my first viral video. Now, it kind of popped off overnight. So for those of you that don't know which video I'm on about, I'll see if I can find it out and I'll put it here. A lot of people call me the punching man, or the punching video, that's what it was called. I cleverly called it the costume punch because that's what I did. I punched the screen and then I'd change costumes. So this is the turning point for me. This is like where everything changed. It was a trend at the time. Every time the beat hit, someone would hit the screen and then they'd change their shoes. I think that's the one I saw. So someone kicked the screen, and then as soon as their foot had come back, their shoe would be different. So I was like, that's a really good idea. So I thought to myself, okay, let's try and implement that into what I do. And I thought, I could probably do that. And it worked. It did, and people loved it. I forget how much it got overnight. I remember waking up and thinking, whoa, that's incredible. I was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I have an Apple Watch, right? I was wearing my watch and I was sitting at my desk. Like every 5 seconds, I had a new buzz for like the whole day. I was absolutely starstruck. I was sitting at my desk, I was smiling, I was grinning, I was like, oh my God, like trying to concentrate on my work. People loved this content and I couldn't believe it. 50,000 turned into 100,000 before I could even make a video thanking everybody. I was doing live streams, I did a couple of boards for people that wanted to get on the board. I was making so much content at this point, it was insane. So when I got to around about 50k, I thought to myself, okay, this is actually going somewhere, let's see what we can make of this. And what I did is I bought myself a new tripod, which is what I'm using now, and I bought 2 box lights, actually. One's broken because I couldn't twist it on properly. I was an amateur, okay? I had the tripod in the middle, I had 2 box lights either side, and honestly, it made the lighting a lot better. I used a window as my background. I'll see if I can get a picture of it and put it here for you. But I was using this window as my background, and everybody loved the window. Like, it had a little shelf, I started putting little figurines on the shelf, I put posters up, and I made that background my own. Like, no matter, regardless of what video I did, I always had that background, like that was my background. From there, I used that background for months, almost a year. I'm kind of lost in the timeline, I'm not gonna lie, but let's just roll with it, it's fine. So more and more people started watching my content, more I added to the background. I got to the point where I had 230 people in a live stream once. I think that's the biggest I've ever got. And from there, I got my dog involved in one of the videos. That actually did better than the original viral video that I had. Of course, cute animals are gonna get viral. They're cute animals. I feel like the first one, I put a lot more effort into that one, so I kind of claimed that one as my most famous video. I had a friend who kept coming into my live streams. She actually did a duet with me, which kind of helped her pop off a little bit. She has since shot off and she's nearly got like 1 million fans now. She really looked up to me, like back then. That was incredible to have somebody look up to me like that. So she did this duet with me and she has since skyrocketed out there, like burst through the roof, gone completely insane. I couldn't believe how well she'd done in such a short amount of time. And I was so proud of her to have one of my friends shoot up and skyrocket out of orbit. Then she had a friend who was a fan of mine. I said, okay, let me see who this person is. So I checked him out, I saw some of his stuff, and I thought, do you know what, this guy's actually kind of hilarious. Bearing in mind this was like a couple of weeks before the Birmingham meet. Everybody like organized a meet in Birmingham, basically. Like there was people who came from all over the world. There was a guy from America who came. A lot of people came from London, everybody in the Midlands as well, that we all sort of collaborated and got together and went to Birmingham. A couple of days before the Birmingham meet, me and my friend, we actually did a duet together and we nearly got 100,000 likes in a couple of days. It was insane and people loved that. It was great. Like we had the same energy, like we acted out very, very similarly, and people loved that. And he was popping off as well. He was doing really, really well. We went to the Birmingham meet. I met up with some friends. Some friends from York came as well, and we had literally one of the best times. Loads of creators got together. Everybody was enjoying themselves. We was all collaborating. There was a karaoke. People got drunk, had loads of fun. Having so many creators come up to you and ask for a picture or ask to make videos with me, it was it's surreal. Like being recognized as somebody who they look up to. The feeling is unmatched. Going to Comic-Cons was incredible. Man, I'm hungry. Energy levels have just gone energy low. I've actually got to go to work in half an hour, so I better wrap this up. So if you're really passionate about TikTok and you're looking to upgrade and do more content, just remember that with fame and with fans comes friends, but also comes drama. My suggestion would be to try and stay away from as much drama as you can. You will meet some of the best people that you've ever met before in your life. I met so many people that I really enjoyed doing content with. We collaborated often, and it was so much fun to collaborate with these people. Just don't let it consume your life. I was kind of living in fantasy land quite a lot. I still had a full-time job. I was still working 9:30 till 7:30. It was just a lot at the time. This is when things started to sort of get a little bit on top of me. As fun and as cool as all this is, kind of started getting to the point now where people would start to get sort of mad at me and angry at me for not duetting them, or not mentioning them, or not commenting. It's kind of a downer to know that trolls are out there just to do that to you. I had somebody come up to me and say that they were in a hashtag war, and because I didn't use the hashtag, they lost the war or something. It's kind of disheartening knowing that you're out there trying to create content for people and people are blaming you for their mistakes. If you've got a large amount of fans on TikTok, you're still the same as everybody else. At this point, I kind of started to lose the enjoyment of TikTok. Hang on, I need to sneeze. And that's the kind of stuff that you really want to like get away from. You don't want to be associated with a conditional friendship. I'll do this for you if you do this for me. It's not a friendship, it's a this for this. And I'll admit I have lost some friends that I kind of regret that I hadn't lost. One of them is now one of the biggest creators in England. And it is a shame. It is a real shame because we had such a connection. The content that we created together was incredible and we had so much fun with it and people loved it, and it's kind of a shame that we can't have that now. This stuff does happen though, so if you're wanting to become TikTok famous or if you are becoming TikTok famous, just remember, stay away from the drama.